I am looking so forward to this event. It's going to be a hoot.
We're gonna love it. Okay, so what's gonna happen, you guys, is we're gonna try to answer all your questions up front, and then we're gonna do a Q&A at the end. So we're probably gonna mute you all until then, and we're gonna give you all the details and all of the information, maybe even more than you want. And then at the end, we're gonna let you ask us whatever else we didn't answer. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Jared. And we're just letting a couple more people in. Can you do that, Brenda? Can you keep on letting people in? Okay. All right, we've got a few more hopping on. You can keep on doing it, Brenda? Okay. All right, so we're gonna go here and share the screen. And all right, Jared, you're up.
Hey everybody, welcome to our Zoom call. We are, as Sarah mentioned, we're going to try to get into as much detail as we possibly can and answer as many questions as possible. But just at a really high level, first of all, I just want to say thank you. This was kind of been a labor of love. We started this probably maybe last August or September, where we started to think, you know, these are organizationally and as a state, there's just so many things that are going on and so many challenges that these individual businesses are facing. And if you remember back.
You just got muted, Jared.
You can't hear you, Jared.
Jared, you're on mute. I'll translate for you. He said that our sponsors are on the screen here that he's looking at. All of you guys are really awesome.
Can you hear him now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah. I was liking the translation, though. That's kind of a good improv bit.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, so just going back to that, the obviously Restart Utah was designed with the intent of helping a lot of organizations that were in the crosshairs of COVID, and we were hoping this event was scheduled for January. As you know, that it was just still too limited in our ability to have this type of event, and so we punted until March. Everything looks really good. We're excited about the dates with the decrease in cases and the increase in optimism and hope. We feel like the timing is actually perfect. We won't go too far into just know it's all socially distanced. We're working with the current guidelines to make sure that the event is designed properly. But again, the whole point of this is to have a live event where even though you're socially distanced, which we'll go into the details of how the structure of the show works later, we're actually interacting with each other. We're together in space and having, you know, hopefully a wonderful time. Again, this is about connection and community. This is about us all getting together and changing and restarting the state. So thank you, first of all, for having the confidence to support this effort, especially when maybe it was harder to do back in the day. And we've worked really hard as a team to make sure that the experience that you're going to have is consistent with some of the other stuff that we've done in terms of real connection. It is going to be faster. You are going to be tired. But I think that you'll be enriched by the overall experience. So I'm gonna turn the time back over to Sarah and just let her take you step by step through all the different pieces of the show. Again, if you could just hold your questions till the end, we'll open it up for a Q&A at the end so that you have a little more, but hopefully we've answered most of the questions by the time we get to that phase. So Sarah.
Okay, awesome. We want to thank our sponsors You can see all of them on the screen here. Especially the groups, many of these groups have been in the crosshairs of COVID, and so we're really excited to support them and to really help bring our economy back. And then others who have just were really interested in helping out with Restarting Utah. So the first things we're going to hit right now are the logistics for the trade show. So the location, dates and times, the booths, details, and setups. So the trade show itself is Thursday and Friday, March 25th and 26th. We have a whole week of activities, but this is the meat of what we're doing. So check-in will begin at 8 a.m. and we will start exactly at 9 o'clock, and that will go from 9 to around 4:30. We're hoping for, we'll see if we can get everybody back from lunch on time. So, but this is all happening at the Tribe House. A lot of people had questions about where is this all happening. The trade show portion is all at the Tribe House. We'll have a couple of events going on, like mixers and stuff on the ground floor, but the trade show booths are going to be on floors 3 and 4, and we'll let you know which ones you're assigned to. Your booth, each of you will have a booth. It's a 5x5 booth space. There's a 4-foot skirted table, 8-foot backdrop, a 3-foot side drape, and then there'll be 2 chairs, one for the person in the booth and one for the person that they're talking to. There are S-hooks available to hang signs. So there'll be a sign, Modern Display will actually put a sign there, but it will, you can take that sign down and use those hooks for your own sign. If you would like us to have an actual sign, a 2x2 booth sign, you just need to let Brenda know. That comes with your package. It'll have a logo on it. So, power and internet. A lot of you have questions about this. So there is going to be a power package, $100 for the whole show, an internet package, $100 for the whole show. If you're interested in those two, please email Brenda immediately with a request for that, because we need to get that order in. There is, this is pre-order pricing, so make sure to do that order by March 17th. It probably won't be that same price after that time. Modern Display has a pre-order discount if you let them know in advance. Okay, so Wednesday, March 24th, that between 1 and 5, you can come up and set everything, set your booth up. You're gonna be able to do anything you want. We really encourage you to come find your booth, set it up however you wanna do it on the 24th from 1 to 5. All right, so now we're gonna talk a little bit about the interaction of the trade show. The attendees, how the circuit's gonna work, some ground rules. Jared's gonna talk a little bit about your presentation, the mixers, the lunch, swag, all that kind of stuff. So there are 2 attendees that should be coming from your organization. Both of them need to be executive or director level. So we're gonna talk about the booth attendee first. This person is going to stay at the booth the entire time. They're gonna be facilitating the experience and the interaction. They're driving the bus on this particular experience. It is very important that this person ends the interaction after the 3 minutes. It's not the attendees, the circuit attendees, it's not the person you're talking to that's gonna end the interaction, you're gonna end the interaction. So the whole "and I'm done," if you're in the middle of saying something, if you're in the middle of a presentation, you say "and I'm done," and you let them move on. Otherwise, this whole thing is going to fall apart with this many people going to this many booths. So we really need your help on that. We need somebody there from 9:30 to 4:30, both Thursday and Friday. That doesn't necessarily have to be the same person, but there needs to be somebody at the booth. The circuit attendee, this is your second person. So this, again, an executive or director level. This person is going to be rotating through the villages. They're gonna be moving through everything, and they're gonna be more listening, responding to the experience. So the same thing, required from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thursday and Friday. If for some reason you do not have this second person, or there's a space where you won't, you need to let us know that this week. And we'll try to have somebody else so that we won't have holes going through the experience. Check-in. Okay, so how this is gonna work is we're not going to have a big long line, everyone comes to get to see Brenda. Hopefully she'll be able to see you anyway, because she'll be very sad about this. She really loves checking everybody in. But we're gonna actually have you check in directly to your booths. So if you look at the picture on here, you can see the different villages. You're going to identify we'll let you know where your booth is. You're gonna go to your booth and all of your materials are gonna be at the booth. So we don't have to, it's just the COVID friendly way of doing this. So you're gonna go directly to, you can show up at 8 a.m. We will be starting at 9. So go directly to your assigned booth. Inside the booth, there's gonna be 2 show passes with your company name on it. This is the one that can be transferred between people if you don't have the same 2 people staying the whole time. It will also have name badges. So you need to let Brenda know all the people who are coming so we can have a name badge in that booth set up for them so that they can have their name, because it'll be separate from their lanyard show pass. And then in addition to that, the circuit attendee is going to have also a rotation badge showing them what village they're supposed to go to at one time. And they're also gonna have a swag bag so that they can collect swag from all the different booths that they visit. So by 8:45, at that point, there's going to be attendance at each of the villages. The booth person will stay in their booth. The attendee will go to their village and they'll be seated from there. How the circuit's gonna work. On Thursday and Friday, you're going to, each of these segments, you're gonna meet 25 companies in each village. So from 9 a.m. to 10:30, you'll do one village and meet 25 companies, or the person sitting in the booth will meet 25 companies coming through. And then we'll switch villages and you'll go to a second one and do an entire other circuit. Then we'll have lunch at 12. Just plan on an hour for lunch. We are giving you a 15-minute buffer, but we need you to be back by 1 so that we can get all set up and everybody's back into their spots. We'll do one more village circuit, well, two more village circuits. And then at 4:30, we're gonna adjourn down to the fire and the forge. And you'll be assigned one of those areas. And that will be a place where you can just do a free-flowing, what?
Lunch is at 12:30.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Lunch is at 12:30. Okay, my bad. That was my bad, sorry. Lunch is at 12:30. So then that means we're meeting back at 1:45, or 1:30, sorry. So 1:30, don't look at this. Look at your thing. I'm sorry, Brenda. So 1:30 back from lunch, 12:30 to 1:30, then at like 1:45 we'll start. And then the mixers are down, and you will be, if you can attend the mixer, I would do it because you're actually gonna be with one of the villages that you won't meet. So that's the way we're gonna have you meet all the different villages. So we'll let you know in your rotation which one you're supposed to go to. All right, so the ground rules for all of this, with all of our interactions, for them to be what they are, we have a certain set of ground rules for those of you who haven't ever been to one of our events. And these ground rules apply for Restart as well. So the first one is, if you're really gonna make that connection to be authentic, really be personable, be yourself, be relaxed, all those things, asking real questions, giving real answers, just be your real self. The second thing is being respectful. A lot of that is obviously listening with respect and respecting other people's viewpoints, but not making assumptions about others, religious, political, philosophical events. We're really about connecting on humanity and not on ideology. Be open to ideas and thoughts, and being aware of the time. That's the thing you really need to be aware of, and then relax and have a good time. So I'm gonna bring Jared back over. He's gonna talk to you a little bit about that 3-minute experience you're gonna have with each company as you're in the village. And it's called the 3 minutes of magic. He's gonna give you some vision and ideas on how that can go.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. Okay, so the main thing on this, this 3 minutes of magic, we really spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly, obviously not having the general public invited and having a show kind of uniquely designed was a challenge because no one had ever really done it before, not in this way. And so what we really came up with was this idea of, okay, we're gonna have to move people along. But again, we're the company that wants to build deep relationships and deep connection. And so 3 minutes isn't a long time for, you know, all these hundreds of individual interactions. So what we're hoping that you'll do is take some real time to take the 3 minutes you're going to have with each of these companies and create some real magic. And these are the three things that again, these are your 3 minutes. You can do as you please. But culturally, to stay intact and frankly, to make it the most impactful type of experience, these are the things that I would focus on if I were you. Again, our favorite quote internally is that the shortest distance between two people is a story. So some way for you to connect with the person on the outer end of the circuit, right? So you're gonna be in the booth, the other person is rotating on the circuit, and this person sits down in front of you. The shortest distance, I mean, you're gonna be 6 feet apart, but the shortest distance between the two of you is actually some level of story and connection. So some way you can pull out some information and connect with that person, get some context for who they are as an individual. But again, understanding that you've got a certain amount of time to get through this process. So connect would be number one. And then communicate. This is about communicating, you know, you talk about an elevator pitch. Again, we don't want this to feel like just days of pitches. We want it to feel like you've done some real work in helping people. First of all, I've connected with the person. Now I've got to communicate my story because your company has a story too, right? So now you've kind of got some context on this person's story that's sitting in front of you. You're going to give some context for the company, yourself and the company that you represent. And then at the end, some level of a call to action, something that says, hey, something uniquely related to the show, some kind of opportunity with your business. Just to give you an example, in ours during the show, we're going to, if somebody is joining one of our new programs, that we're going to give them a physical check that says they can spend that money within the next week on our products. Again, we don't want the pitch to be we don't want it to be pitchy, but we do want to be like thoughtful and engaging. And if there is something that you're wanting to do in terms of a call to action, it could be an event you're hosting. It could be something you're trying to get people to specifically. It can be specific to your product or a referral network. Those things are all important. So again, just to kind of recap: connect, communicate, and a call to action. And 3 minutes. And then again, I want to reiterate what Sarah said earlier. This all falls apart if the person in the booth, again, if the person in the booth's responsibility to say, and we're done, you're going to hear the bell, and you're going to want to just continue to communicate a little bit, and you just need to resist that urge as much as difficult as that's going to be, and then move to the next experience. We're going to, again, for those of you that don't know what the Forge and Fire are, those are two beautiful lounges that are at the base level of the Tribe House that will be having more relaxed kind of, because again, this is a little counterculture for us. This level of speed is a little difficult for everyone. But when we got into this, if we were going to restart the state, we've got to reconnect the state, right? Because every opportunity has its root in a relationship. And the only way that we're going to really move the state forward is by reconnecting. If you look at, can't remember when the study was, but Forbes said the #1 predictor of success is your network. And that is, if we're going to be successful as a state and as a business community, then we've got to reconnect and we've got to start building those relationships because that provides the foundation for real growth going forward. So that's why we decided to move at this pace and build this many relationships. And hopefully, again, we've got the VIP events and the concerts and the breakfast and all the other stuff that will be maybe a little more relaxed, and you can kind of have a more meaningful interaction through this process. So anyway, again, connect, communicate, and call to action. I'm going to turn the time back over to Sarah.
So with that connect, often that is asking them a story. So just sit down and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. Tell me, the question I have for you today is this. And let them tell you some kind of personal story that you can make some kind of personal connection in that first minute. I think that is really going to make this a really remarkable, different kind of experience. And I have 50 stories, prompts that you can choose from. I can send them out to you guys if you're interested in that. And then with the communicate, using a story to tell, this is the history of our company. This is how we got started. This is a client that we were able to help. Instead of just talking about it, say that here's a client that I was able to make this difference for, our company was. And then the call to action can also include if you want to do like a game or swag or something like that. It just has to fit within that time period. So you guys decide, create your own experience of what you want to have happen there. I know a lot of people have really talked to me about that. Just telling a story about a client, that's probably the very best way to explain your company. So don't feel like it has to be more than that, honestly. I think the stories can really make a big deal, like a success story. So the timing, how this is gonna work, there'll be a bell and a visual at the start and the close of the 3 minutes. So there'll be one starting you, ending you, and then there'll be a rotation where they'll move to the next booth, and then again. And again, and I'm done. And the village attendant is going to be, we'll have volunteers there helping with the flow to help you know how to get through all of this. Lunch options. So we, in supporting the Utah economy, one of the people who've really been hit is restaurants and also food trucks. So we're doing a food truck roundup in the back here in our parking lot. We'll have Good Grinds, San Diego Churros, Sobe Eats, and we'll have additional ones as well. Sobe Eats is Mexican, right? Sorry, that was my bad. So Sobe Eats is Mexican, Good Grinds is what? Okay, and Brenda says it's very good, and she's very particular about her food, just so you know. So, and she's actually getting a couple more. Obviously, that's probably not going to feed 500 people. There's some really great restaurants around here as well, but we just need to be, but we really want to support these guys. They're coming out for this, so if you can, please support them. And then your swag. So we just need to make sure that your swag is COVID friendly, individually wrapped, or, you know, not a big thing of jelly beans that they're picking out of, I guess. Make sure everything, and if you have any questions or you're like, I'm not sure what to do, Brenda sent out, we've got some Restart swag partners, and they've got tons of ideas for you. So reach out to them as soon as possible so they can get stuff ready for you if you want to do that. If you're choosing to, that's completely up to you. But do not bring a bag, because we will be providing a bag for this. So to be able to do some research ahead of time, we have a Tribe House directory of our online platform. And anybody who is not on it already and hasn't filled out their profile, Brenda's gonna be sending you a link. Please click on that link, set up your directory account, and then you're gonna be able to upload a picture, put in some information about yourself, and then we'll send you a list of the people who are coming so you can do some research ahead of time, which will be really very remarkable for you to be able to like have people come through and know a little bit about them. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the rest of the week. Now that we hit the trade show portion, as we're restarting Utah, we really wanna support and have experiences for those of again, Crosshair has really been the industries with entertainment and travel and everything. So we are gonna support some of them, and each of you get 2 VIP tickets. So each organization gets 2 VIP tickets. Brenda has sent you links to that. You go and you just choose the 2 that you want. So this is the confusing part that everyone's a little confused about. In addition to those 2 VIP tickets, there are 2 events that we're having that are open for more than that. Like you can have, in addition, you can go to these 2 other events, and anybody from your company can go to these. So these 2 that I'm about to talk about right now are the ones anybody can go to, and they are in addition to the VIPs. Hopefully that is clear as mud. Yes. You do have to be executive level for this. What? Okay, so for these 2, do you want to explain it, Jared? Okay, I'm turning this over to him. He's the one that put this together.
Sorry. So basically they're all VIP events, and you're gonna have like, I think there's 6 or 7 that you can pick from, and then there's more limited. There's like 50 to 100 seats per. And then the other 2 events, we've got a little bit more. And those 2 are the Megaplex movie theater night, which we're doing the new Cumberbatch movie. What's his first name? Benedict Cumberbatch movie, The Courier. So we're going to be doing that at on Wednesday night, and you can choose from either the Jordan Commons event or theater or the Thanksgiving Point Theater for that movie. Those two movies are premiering at the same time on different screens. So you can have up to, I believe, 6 tickets to that, and you can use those organizationally. You can just decide how you want to use those 6 tickets. Same thing applies, or is it 2 for that one? 6.
It's 6 for the aquarium.
Sorry, 6 for the aquarium, 2 for the movie. So yeah, so 6 tickets for the aquarium, which is Monday night, 2 tickets for either of the premieres Wednesday night, and then you can use those other 2 for any of the other events that are listed that Sarah's going to go over. Sorry, I know this is really confusing, and it's because we like to make things as confusing as possible.
So, so on Monday, you can use 2 tickets, and this is for the executives, is Vander's Keep Experience at Evermore. You're gonna have a lunch. If you haven't seen this, this is like an amazing Norwegian Viking area in Evermore, just across here from the Tribe House. So that'll be amazing. So that's a VIP event. You could use your 2 tickets for that. And then for the aquarium that night, you have an additional 6 tickets for anybody in your organization to use that night. So on Tuesday, Hale Center is going to have an experience, and that's a lunch, right, Brenda? Yes. So that's a lunch. The Hale Center Theater, you get to go to the Sandy Hale Center Theater, and they'll have one of the performers from Les Miserables performing during that. Or that night, and this private dinner is actually wrong, it is a comedy night at Sundance. So you could use, these are both VIP tickets that you could choose to go to. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday is the movie premieres, and that this is in addition, you get 2 tickets in addition if you want to come to it. You do have to RSVP for all of this. You can't just show up. You have to let us know. But this is a non-VIP one. You can just have 2 people come to this one, in addition to the other things that you're choosing. And then on Thursday, so the same day as the show, there's 2 different things here. There's a keynote breakfast. So you can come in at 8 o'clock and have the keynote breakfast. You'll already be here. We'll be having different executives speaking and telling about their experiences. That could be one of the things you choose for your VIP. That evening, we'll be having a Peter Breinholt concert and dinner. So it's dinner and a concert. So you could, these are VIP events you can come to. Friday, again, there's another keynote breakfast here at the Tribe House. And you can look through and see the people who are speaking at that one. Or that night, there's a Ruby's concert. So that will be dinner and the concert, and you can bring your spouse, or you could have 2 tickets to that. So these are all optional activities. It is something you need to sign up for this week, and you do have to RSVP for them. And we are really excited about that. So we are going to move into Q&A. I think the best way to do this is probably through the chat, because we have a lot of people on this call. So we're going to go, I'm going to bring Jared up. Jared and Brenda are going to be your answers to this. So if you want to, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to, if you have any questions, go ahead and go into the chat. And here we go.
I can sit here, right?
Okay. This call is being recorded. Okay, so just go through and answer these, Jared.
Okay. Yes, we are emailing the slideshow to what we just did to everyone out. And what's that?
I'll email the handout.
And she'll email the handout as well. So is there a table at the booth or just chairs? Yes, there is a table, a skirted table. You've got, what other questions do we have here?
Just identify in advance the people planning to be at the booth or mingling around the circuit. Yes, that would be very helpful.
Say it again.
I've got that. Recording to the people.
Sorry, we're just going through all these questions real quick. So one is, can we take turns with our coworker being at the booth and walking around? So just to reiterate on this, yes, you can swap people out as long as they qualify and that they have some level of representation at your organization. but you know, I wouldn't do it too often. We will have volunteers at every village that will help you kind of make the transition, because partly they got to be able to, we first of all got to get them up to you. So coordinating with that, with Brenda saying, look, I've got somebody coming, this is when they're coming, so that we can work with the volunteer to get them into the rotation at the right time. Does that make sense? Because we don't know where you are exactly. So we have to identify where you are, then we have to swap that person out. Ideally, you're not swapping people out during the middle of a session. Ideally, you're just doing it, hey, we're going to swap out at lunch, and so they go back into the rotation and you're back into your normal pattern. So if you can manage that, that would be ideal. So that is that question. Oh, somebody has
More info on the signage.
some real quick. Somebody has a question on the swag. Number of, if you are bringing something as a gift, how many total should you bring? So it should be 200. We're going to have 225 booths. You will not be connecting with your own village, because in lots of cases those are your competitors or other things. It's not a huge deal, but you won't with that group. So there's 225 total in the show. It'll go down to 200, and then some of them you'll be in the mixers as well, and so you'll have to. We'll try to help coordinate as much as possible with your swag on that. So
do you want them to bring it for people sitting in the booths, or just for people going around?
Oh, just yeah. I mean, you can. I mean, just so you know how we're doing. We've got a really cool little Tribe House hat that we're going to be giving away. So we're just going to bring the 200 hats, and then we're going to hand them out individually, and then they can manage their booty how they want to later. And we're not, i.e., we're not bringing 400 gifts, because there's going to be 400 people that are going through on both sides of the circuit, if that makes sense. We're just doing the one with the interaction. So, but again, you can do whatever you want. You could bring 2 gifts for every person and have them go back to the other person as well. That would be that. Obviously, that's up to you. So, okay.
On the tickets are asking, so of all the options, we choose 2 total. Yes.
So of all the ticket, there's a question. So of all the options, we picked 2. So the answer is really, it is true. It is 3: movie, aquarium, and then 1 other event. So, and you can choose.
Movie and aquarium are included for everybody.
Yes, movie. I'm saying it, but you still have to let us know how many you want for the movie, how many you need for the aquarium, and how many you want.
Additional tickets.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 2. Yep. So hopefully that answers that question. If you have additional questions about that, clarification: are we able to do both Sundance and Hale? So you could, but you'd have to do 1 ticket for each, right? So, which you can. That's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Dennis. So just to be clear, some of these are kind of guest events, and some of these aren't guest events. Some of them are just purely networking, kind of more corporate events, i.e. the Hale Center Theater lunch. Pretty much all the lunches are that way. So the Vanders Keep and but the Sundance, however, actually probably will be people bringing guests and couples. So you would be, if you went to the Sundance event, more likely you can get one. I'm just telling you, it's more likely that that's an evening event, and that you might want to use both tickets for that. So, but again, if you wanted to go to the Vanders Keep lunch, and you wanted to go to the Hale Center Theater lunch, and it's purely business for you, and you want to do that, then that's one way you could manage that. If you do want, we'll probably have some availability on other tickets for sale. We're still figuring all that out. So if you do have another event you desperately want to go to, please text or email Brenda and say, Brenda, I really want to go to this event as well. And we'll do our best to kind of help facilitate there. There may be some additional cost for those tickets, but we will accommodate our Restart Utah vendors before we'll accommodate anyone else. So,
Brandy wants to know about the signage. Tell more about the signage.
The signage, basically, it comes with a 2x2.
Just a sign.
It comes with a just a long sign that has your name on it. It's nothing amazing or beautiful. It's just, but it is a designation, more to help you find your booth. We were going to provide, and we are providing, like a 2x2 sign with your logo on it if you want that. But a lot of people are like, I'm putting my own stuff on. I don't want your sign there. So that's why we said, look, just let us know specifically if you want us to bring that 2x2 sign with the printed logo that looks a little better than the other sign, then that needs to be communicated to Brenda before, I believe, Thursday this week. So you need to communicate that to Brenda quickly if you want that physical sign printed, or you can just keep the little 2x2 that's already built in. You can get this one, or you can just take them both off and put your own stuff up. So that is the.
Jason, so who's the VIP and who's not important? That's a good question.
What's the question?
Yeah, Jason Baker. So who's the VIP and who's not important? That's a good question. More info on the sign.
You guys are all VIPs, Jason.
In summary, you have 2 tickets and you can, this is Cynthia. You have 2 tickets and you can use them for any of these events, not 2 tickets for each, correct?
Yeah, correct.
For Cynthia.
For Cynthia.
Clarification, are we able to do both senders? Yes, where is the link to the contact from each organization? Tell them
What's the question?
right now, where is the link to the contact from each organization? They have company names, but I will send a list of the contact person as well.
Okay, I'm actually gonna have Brenda talk to this one.
No.
She really
It
does
just
not want to
says,
get in the
Where is
screen.
the link to the contact from each organization? Just say
Oh,
right now.
so the contact, she wants the, where's the contact to every organization. So you're looking for photo, bio, I want to learn about these companies a little bit more. That is on the platform, the Tribe House platform. You go into the directory and you'll be able to search by name. Brenda will have she'll get you the list of everyone that's there, and then you can kind of find the individual vendors based on that. I would wait a little while though, because we've got a lot of people that we've got to invite. And they'll probably take another 3 or 4 days before they're all on the platform.
Okay, here's another question. Sorry, it keeps going down.
Okay, we've got one. It says, is breakfast included for the trade show costs or the booth attendees? Breakfast is included if you are registered for the breakfast. But again, those two breakfast events are 2 of the VIP events. Cynthia, so Cynthia's question is, this is not open to the public, correct? Just the businesses that signed up for the Restart Utah event, yes. So the answer to that question is yes, this is a socially distanced version of a trade show. So this never been done like this exactly, but the general public is not invited. Obviously, COVID rules would prohibit us having that type of event at this point, where we look forward to those type of events in the future. But yeah, this new format actually, remember I've talked to so far, they're thrilled because you get to meet literally 225 people in a consistent, predictable fashion. So just again, make that 3 minutes of magic. Just to me, that's your biggest opportunity. Do the same 2 people from each company need to attend each day? No, Landon, they can rotate. They do not need to be the same person, but we do need to know so that we can coordinate, again, facilitate and help you transition people in and out. Just make sure they're executive level and have some level of decision-making authority inside the company.
I have some more coming up, sorry. I'll just keep going.
I think
8-foot table and a 5x5. No, it's a 4-foot skirted table.
it's a 4-foot skirted table. We have another question about tables. Will there be an email about the various events? A VIP.
Somebody wondered if they can put 2 people in their booth. Can they?
Okay, we had a question about putting 2 people in your booth. No, you can only have 2 people in the show at any time. Again, everything is organized and structured around the current COVID rules. So you can have 2 people in the show. So they need to pass each other, give their badge. They can pass the badge outside. They can pass inside too, that's fine. We've got, again, these are just so you have context. I forgot to mention this. We want to thank St. John's Properties for making this possible. They're the ones that are allowing us to use their beautiful new 6-story tower, the 3rd and 4th floor. This is basically open, raw, shelled out space, right? So this space isn't just traditionally designed for a trade show. So we're having to accommodate, and they've been amazing to work with. But just, yeah, that's what's nice about that is they're really open, cavernous spaces. We've got good distance, good height, and we're just designed the show to make sure that it's consistent. So just make sure if you've got people coming in that you've got a really predictable path, and we can get that badge passed from one person to the other.
Consisted the same 2 people from each company need to attend each day. No, they can rotate out.
Yeah, doesn't need to be the same people. Again, it's just that's just a facilitated coordination issue. So any other questions? We had some questions about masks. Masks are for check-in, and as you're going through the general areas, once you're seated, there where you'll be socially distanced at that point, and then can make your own judgment at that point. So, but when we're rotating or moving, especially when we're going out to lunch or different areas, please make sure you mask up until you're socially distanced again, and then we'll go from there. Any other questions? Okay, I think that's everything. Thanks for coming, everybody. I imagine that a lot of people have individual questions that they're going to want to just direct either directly to myself or to Brenda or Sarah. Feel free to communicate any detailed questions or hop on a call. We're almost fully booked. We anticipate being fully booked by the end of I think 4 or 5 of the villages are completely sold out. There's a couple that have some additional spaces, but they should be gone by the end of the week. So we should have a full show, an exciting show, properly designed show, and we hope that you all come and enjoy it.
See you
Thanks.
on the screen. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I need all that.
I don't shut it all the way down so I can see the comments. See if there's anybody that you can say if anybody has questions, you can stand here and ask. You can tell them. Yeah, these are all things that I need to say back. So are you screenshotting it? What are you doing? I didn't do any of that. Just don't show it down so I have it. Shelly's supposed to be screenshotting it for me. That's what she's doing.